Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. This is the end of the year 2018, and also we're going to be talking about the premiere episode of the Orville and also some other stuff. Welcome, happy freaking New Year to everyone. Yes, it's going to be a fun time tonight. We're just going to babble about some of our favorite shows this year, maybe some remembrance of some of the crappier moments of television this year too. We hope all of you guys join us, and you can pop on in the live motherfucking chat, share your thoughts tonight, or you can call on in and leave us a voicemail at 781-990-8509. Again, that's 781-990-8509. Whenever you're listening to this, please use it as a drunk hotline. See, I'm a little drunk. I'm like this, but like, please do. If it's New Year's Eve and
drunk dialing cost $5.99 a minute.
Yeah, please. But we'll play it all on the air. We fucking love it. And as you can hear, I'm not alone tonight. With me, finally, it's been a little bit, is Joe Dirty Locks. How's it going tonight, Joe?
Goes good.
And also, I forgot to mention, we're going to catch up with Joe on his thoughts on Vikings Season 4. We'll hold off that to a little bit. And later in the show, Joe and I are going to be recording a patron cast too for the patrons, just for you guys, to show you guys some love. And of course, the live motherfucking chat. We got DJ Better at SM Down, Corey, Casey Atheist, and a bunch of other people will be popping on in and out throughout the evening. So just to kind of not get it over with, but we're going to talk a lot about some of our favorite stuff that happened this year. But to get this out of the way, we'll talk about the premiere episode of the Orville tonight first. So the Orville, I'll get my quick thoughts about the Orville season 1 and then pass it over to Joe to share his thoughts, because I can't even really remember talking to you too much about the Orville on the air. I think
we didn't talk too much about Orville last season.
No.
You were yeah.
You were gonna say I was watching that Discovery thing or whatever.
You were watching mostly the Discovery, and you're doing some podcasts on that, and so we didn't do many Orville podcasts, but we both watched the entire season.
Yeah,
we both really enjoyed it, and it was a favorite of ours for the
right. And I don't want to get into a Discovery versus Orville kind of situation, because I think both shows are amazing in their own ways.
Hold on. So this season is obviously starting at the very end of 2018, but it will be a 2019 kind of.
Right.
So was Orville 1 17 or was that 18?
I think it would be considered 2017. But it did air in 2018, so it could be included into our discussion to a certain extent. Okay, I want to say one thing off the bat about this episode. I don't know, and people can correct me if I'm wrong that are watching this or later on, or I'll do my research later. I know that there was one episode that was left from season 1 that didn't air because they just decided for whatever reason to hold off to season 2. I don't know if this was that episode. I don't know if
it seems like it could have been. I was really hoping all this relationship shit was fucking done with. Like,
yeah, the
drive-by was cute, but
the drive-by was cute. There was a couple of good moments. The chemistry that the cast has is very clear, but I did feel to a certain extent like
bored.
for a season premiere, it was a little anticlimactic, and that's not to say that
I was expecting at least some sort of nice piss or something. You
didn't even hear the piss.
So disappointing.
It seemed like there were a lot more jokes written into this episode. And again, I'm not saying it was a bad episode, but it seemed like something that should be in the middle of the season and be a decent episode in the middle of the season, not necessarily
or in the middle of last season.
Right. It didn't feel like a new season. And I don't know if I'm completely wrong, but I thought I remember them saying that there was one episode.
It's because of, and even makes a line about it, this isn't another baby thing. They had a focus episode on that dude. So I don't know. As far as episodes go, this was just a generic Star Trek episode. Right. Orville episode.
It was a total generic Star Trek, Orville episode, Joe. And that's exactly what it was. And that's what's great about this show. That even in an episode like this, it was just like an also ran episode of Next Generation. It was a decent episode.
It was Star Trek: The Next Generation, not on the Enterprise. It was like, what give me another ship big ship.
Oh yeah, the Titan or something. It was a Beverly Crusher episode when it really came down to it.
And Beverly Data episode.
Yeah, it was a Beverly Data episode with a side story of Jordy and Wesley trying to pick up girls.
Or with Quark visiting.
Yeah, Quark was there was definitely an element of Quark going on in this episode. And how about those? I mean, I want to go
Quark's kid, whatever that kid's name is.
Rom. There was a Rom Jake thing going on a little bit too. Yes, there definitely was. And it doesn't help having Cassidy Yates in this episode too. I mean, Cassidy Yates is a big part of the cast, and I love having her there. But this was a decent episode of Orville. There's not too much. I did write a little bit of recap, but what's really to go through this? The captain met a new girlfriend that it's going to be his girl that the pilot was trying to pick up.
The pilot wanted her though.
The best storyline was the Data and the Doctor storyline to me.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, it was relatively entertaining, and
my kid's not a bitch. Your kid is a little bitch, and you better smack that motherfucker.
Yeah, that was the best part about it. The fact that those people's parents were completely idiotic. That like they were the biggest dumbasses out there type of people. Our
child's an angel.
He's an angel. He's pulling that Eddie Haskell bullshit. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Holy shit. But again, I thought it was a pretty good episode of the Orville. My anticipation was higher than my excitement for actually watching it. But for the Orville, I'll give it sort of. We don't really do grades too often, but it's a mid-grade episode of Orville. It's nothing too special.
Yeah.
But there were some fun moments, and I like this cast, and that's what's really cool about it. And I guess this was somewhat world building, and that's why I say it feels like it should be an in the middle of a season episode with learning more about the Klingon, the Bortis, whatever they are, culture, and learning about their piss thing. I that's the one thing I want to.
Once a year, oh my god, the relief.
Yeah, that was.
Screaming. The seal must fucking. Let's tear open.
Yeah. What if it's windy?
Right.
I thought the jokes worked well in this episode. I thought they intercut decently, and I thought in general it was a funny episode. It was just not. You said it earlier. I'm not gonna say I was bored, but I wasn't engaged in the story. It seemed like the episode you have right after a big episode. Right at
just say it.
I don't think it was bored. I wasn't completely bored.
The zippers. Oh my god, the zippers.
Oh, the zipper storyline went on a little bit. The episode screamed of an episode that was cut last season. I don't know. I'm sorry. Corey Mitchell in the chat earlier says, the Orville tonight. Meh.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's good to have it back, and I'm curious to see what it's like next week because okay, they even said it in the way it was teased after the episode ended. It was like, tune in Thursday for the new stuff. They didn't directly say that, but there was almost a vibe to the announcer's voice. Tune in next week for the actual new stuff coming this Thursday. This was what we had to tell you because it might have got cut up from football. And it's not a coincidence that they decided to air it on the day that it might have been bumped for football, but it didn't. And I know people that like the Orville to watch this. I enjoyed seeing it back, and I enjoyed seeing all the characters. But I'm very curious to see on Thursday night how this goes forward. Again, I feel like this is where I'm getting dicky a little bit. The character of Alara, I really like her, and I know that. Spoiler alert, if you haven't read off-season stuff, she's not going to be on the show full-time. I believe the girl that went out with the green head guy.
Number one?
Yeah, not number one, the security officer.
She's not?
She's one of my favorite characters on the show with Bortis. Like, her and Bortis are my two favorite characters. And the Data one, and she's disappearing from the show at some point.
Bullshit.
Let's see. Hey, what's up, everybody? And Steph Snow says, hey, Phil and Joe, total side note, did you try that Netflix Choose Your Own Adventure show? We'll talk about that. I'll talk.
No, not yet.
Stephanie and I tried it last night for the first time through. Let's. I will talk about it a little bit, but I don't want to spoil it too much for Joe. Maybe Joe and I will at some point do a live
Black Mirror
playthrough.
lost me somewhere around season 2.
It's not so much like a Black Mirror episode. It does have some elements of that, Joe, but it's more like at times feels like a Telltale game.
What's it called? Cumberbatch or some shit?
Benedict Cumberbatch. No, it's called Bunderschuzen or whatever. Someone put I forget what it's called. Someone pop the name of the live chat and I'll be able to pronounce it. But it's good. It's an interesting concept. The concept is for me was more interesting than the movie itself. But the concept of the movie made it extra cool, and some of the alternative ways you could finish it were very hilarious, and some of the outtakes and some of the choices you could make were cool. I definitely enjoy it. It's coming out here in the end of 2018. It's a really cool idea. I mean, at times it felt like one of those CD-ROM adventure games. Go left, go right, do this, do that. But generally, things have had some consequence. It had some elements of Telltale game feel to it while watching it, and it was a cool concept. The story was interesting the way they wrapped it in without getting too into spoilers for it, but it's I'd say anyone who has Netflix, it's definitely worth a watch. It was worth the fun, and especially if you have a love or a memory of choose your own adventure books from when you were a kid, because that was basically what they were trying to get across. What's up? We got the Walking David. Happy New Year to you, buddy. Great to see you.
David, man, I got something to talk to you about.
Ooh.
I'm gonna run it by Phil too.
Okay.
At some point, not on air. This isn't for.
Oh, this is exciting.
Private guys.
Okay, no, I'm excited to hear about this.
All I know is I've talked to a couple people about it, and they think it's a great idea.
Ooh. I'm excited, Joe. I'm excited to be a part of this plan. Steph Snow says the concept could totally change TV. I agree. I enjoyed the concept above the narrative. It was a fun little novelty. It was a fun novelty. It was at times very clever the way it interacted. At times just kind of subtle choices. And I do think it could set up for even better. Not that it was a badly made thing, but even to take different kinds of filmmakers, what that's going to inspire someone to do in the future. And I think with a little bit more indulging in it, it could be even exceptionally well done. But I think it was very good, very fun. Cool. Okay, so I don't know if there's anything else to.
There's nothing else to say about the Orville, dude.
Is there nothing else to say?
There really isn't. Like, I tuned out at one point, like close to the end, and that says it all. If you're 40 minutes deep and you're like picking up your phone to do shit, not even like during a commercial, kind of says a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not as harsh on tonight's episode as you because
no. I'm not saying it was bad. Like I said, it was a generic generation episode.
Right. And I guess I was a little bit more starving in the desert for a cracker for Orville and for something Star Trek. So it kind of hit that nerve enough for just getting the vibe back for me. But as an episode alone, if I'm judging it compared to other Orville episodes, it's one of the lower Orville episodes compared to season 1 and how I imagine most of season 2 is going to be.
Got to get this straight out. Like, don't get me wrong. I am a fan of this show. Like, even though this was a boring episode and none of these episodes are going to be like me talking about fucking Better Call Saul or, early seasons of The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, or anything. You're not going to hear me fucking ranting and raving about this shit. But you're not going to hear me picking apart, like, the stupidity of it either. Like, because, that's just the way it's going to, like, I know you would never hear me talk shit about, the stupidity of the walking of Z Nation, because it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be kind of like, it's not the best budget. It's not the best effects going to go into it. What they have, what the money they use, I think they do a great job replicating a series from the 90s that they're trying to emulate, that the creator is a huge fucking fan of. So, and it obviously shows in all the shit they ripped off.
And we got people in the live motherfucking chat. Lynetta says, "Are we ever to get that the haunting of the Hill review from Netflix?" Did you watch that, Joe?
Not yet.
Joe and I will watch that at some point. Definitely.
I will try. I did just watch Bird Box, so.
Oh, I haven't watched that. I've heard bad things about that.
I've heard it's okay. So, different podcast.
Different podcast. Okay, so let's get into this though.
What did Joe think? I just got out of a what did Joe think for that fucking movie there.
I know, but we might as well get this out of the way now. Joe, you are finally caught up with Vikings season 4. So how are you feeling just in general, Vikings season 4?
I am done.
You're done watching Vikings?
I'm done watching Vikings. I won't sit. I won't sit and wait for it on the day that I don't even know what day it airs right
Wednesdays.
now. Wednesday. I won't sit and wait for it to come on. 20 minutes before, all eager. I won't look it up on demand. I'm fucking done. That kid has absolutely no fucking chemistry with the fucking camera. Never mind any fucking castmates. Not even his girlfriend. The whole fucking storyline they've done. Oh God, he's like a cheap fucking ripoff of Negan who sucks he balls to. I can't stand a fucking second he is on screen. I think he's a horrible fucking actor. They went the complete wrong direction with that fucking character. I'm glad they fucking at least killed off that fucker that had no business being on the show whatsoever. The bishop, right? I could go on and on about how much these last Lagatha fucking just running around fucking doting at the bishop's heels for four fucking episodes. Oh my God, so fucking awful fucking writing, awful fucking production value from what I've seen.
Really, you didn't like the battle in the last episode from a production value?
The battle wasn't. You didn't get to see enough of it. They kept going into this big fucking screenshot of bloody boy face, trying to narrate it.
But Joe,
there was aspects of it that could have been good, and they just. I'm sorry, the whole fucking Hitler Ivar scene, Heil Ivar with the fucking.
Ivar's a god, Joe. He's a god,
right? The whole just fucking stupid. The float. Who gives a shit about either fucking family that is chilling with Floki on the fucking island, and why either fucking family didn't turn around and go, well, obviously Floki did it. He knows what the fucking body is. Yeah, right. He's talking to the fucking gods. Okay, everybody.
Okay, I'm with you on that. No one cares. Are you at least enjoying the guy that's on the screen with you right now? The Alfred stuff. No, on your, you can't see it.
I press pause usually on the, because it will make me run slow.
Yeah, but no, are you liking any of the Wessex stuff?
What Wessex shit? A bunch of pouty fucking Vikings.
King Alfred.
Oh God, I really I'm really not. See, there's another show on Netflix called The Last Kingdom or some shit like that. It's a very similar storyline, kind of. A lot of the same names and places and time period. And I'm not saying that's a great show. And certainly the other Vikings started better than The Last Kingdom, but The Last Kingdom is holding up better than this.
Right.
This is just fucking trash. Fucking that whole fucking Magnus out of nowhere bullshit. I taught myself to speak Viking. Are you kidding me? Just the bullshit in this show, is piling on awfully. So horrible casting mistakes, horrible fucking writing, horrible fucking storylines, sidelining major fucking characters so you can, it's not just sidelining them, fucking hog tying them, completely changing their character type. What they did to Lagatha in the last fucking half of the season.
Oh my goodness.
Awful.
I'm with you with that.
Just why is anybody Hail Ivar? I still have yet to understand this. Everybody in that fucking town, right? This town has grown immeasurably.
This is where I'll argue with you.
Everybody fucking knows who Lagatha is. We sacrificed Agatha.
Some people spoke up. They had a few people spoke.
Like, come on, stone that motherfucker where he stands. Why does anybody have any fucking loyalty to him? You're gonna let him run around and fucking talk to the gods? The fucking the seer.
Joe, he is a god. He is a god.
Never would. No, you are not a fucking god.
He is a god.
No. Because they lose their power if they're not the ones fucking telling you what the gods fucking think in the first place. No, not happening. Fucking bullshit. Fucking stupid. Fucking absolutely stupid.
Tim F said,
so jelly of Ivar.
Joe is super jelly of Ivar. He really is. And Robert, I will definitely tell you, I'll probably do that as one of the first podcasts after the first of the year. He sent me a good list of all these remakes that are coming out soon, movie remakes, that we should do a list and talk about what we think about that, Joe. It'll be fun. Yo, you guys, peace and blessings to Phil. Peace and blessings to Joe. What's up, motherfucking chat from Jose. Great to see Jose. Steph, did new writers take on the show? I haven't watched, but casting photos I've seen seem uninteresting. I'm confused on why the Iceland looks all shitty and barren. It's always been beautiful and pristine. Odd storyline for Floki. Okay, this is what I was saying about Floki in one of the other podcasts, and since this is the last time I'll ever talk to you about Vikings on a podcast, since shows Vikings is dead to Joe. Or maybe once at the end of the year.
It started dying when Ragnar was
gone.
Oh,
no, I hear you. You've been on your way out for a while. So
here's the thing. If I'm going to invest any shitty time in shitty television, I'm already investing a lot of time in a shitty show that might go on for another, 9 seasons or some shit, if they can push it.
So
plus movies.
To you, Ivar's just Negan.
He's worse. He's far fucking worse. He's just worse. He's because he's not the caliber actor that
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is.
Right. That Morgan is. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is not even anywhere close to it. In the way they've written him so fucking one-dimensional. We don't get to see any of his planning. Just all he is yeah, I'm a king and I'm a god and I'm the leader of the fucking army. Mine.
In fairness, they have at least this season tried to show that people are trying to kill him. You were asking for that last year. They're showing a lot of people at least attempt for his life. I mean, what I don't love necessarily is how last half of season, they at least attempted to make him have some strategic intelligence and be thinking ahead and show that. This season, him being manipulated in the easy way that he's being manipulated, thinking he's a god, going through all of that is a little bit of a hard pill to swallow. I don't blame you for being out, considering your hate for Ivar. My question, I guess, has to do with
let's see how easily he's being manipulated by that chick too.
What if he is playing her, and once he has the kid, he goes, thank you for giving me a believable heir. I am a god, and I know what you were doing this whole time, and kills her. Would that be a good play to show that this was all sort of an act for a while, that he was playing into it? Would that save it for you on any level? No. You're not enjoying any of the other Ragnar kids, Bjorn or Uba or Hitzak. Let me think. What else? Okay, Floki. The Floki shit sucks, but at least Floki's still a good actor, right? I'm trying to be all optimistic here and get Joe. But
I wasn't never. This is the only thing I've ever seen him act in that I can think of off the top of my head.
He's also on Westworld in the most newest season.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say he's a great actor even. But he comes from a talented family.
So let's go into live motherfucking chat. Oh, we got Fandom D Saint, Broke Blackman 94 in the live motherfucking chat. Corey Mitchell, yes, it is a new studio. I'm still getting it in shape, but thanks, Corey. What's up, everybody? What's up, Santovia Major? Has Joe given up on Vikings? Yes. Right now, this is the Joe. That's why I'm trying to pop in any happiness whatsoever, but this is Joe's official Viking funeral. He is giving up on Vikings. Joe is retiring from Vikings, and we all understand. So let's play Joe a sad song. He needs to hug the kitty. Yeah, that's Well, I'll keep watching, and if I feel like it's getting to a point,
Enjoy that trash fucking show, dude.
I'll I'll keep watching for a little while. So I have a sneaking suspicion I know what might be on one of Joe's ending lists of worst episodes. So let's transition into, I guess, what the main topic of tonight is. It's fucking New Year's Eve, and we have to do our yearly award show or whatever, or give our picks for some of the best shit in television or movies. If you guys want to ask us some questions, I know Joe and I aren't crazy go out to the movies, but we do like to sail the pirate waves sometimes to watch them. So I think generally most of the movies that came out in 2018, some of the big ones I've seen, but if I haven't, I'll be like, I haven't seen that. But I've so feel free, if anyone in the live chat or that wants to call and leave a voicemail at 781-990-8509. Any questions about movies, and we're happy to answer that as well. But basically what we're going to be talking about is our favorite show, our least favorite show, or we're going to give a couple, and what's the biggest, what's the biggest disappointment, worst actors, best actors.
Vikings worst.
Joe already through.
Vikings hits the worst in all the categories. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the actors have been phoning it in for like, since Bjorn fought the fucking bear. Like, that was fucking, like, watch The Revenant and then watch Bjorn fight a bear.
Corey Mitchell says, wait, I thought this was a Fuller House review. Last time Joe was at my house, actually, he came in and we were watching Fuller House, and he just turned around. He just turned around and walked out. He's like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? What the fuck? And he turned around and walked out because I was
start opening my mail if you're gonna keep talking about Fuller House.
Don't worry,
I got lots of mail to open. Lots of it.
I don't watch either show, but much love to you, DJ Better. We're already done talking about both the shows, which name is on this review. Now we're just talking about a group of other shows. The best, this shouldn't take long, says Centovia Major. Actually, the best is going to be probably the toughest debate here. Joe already gave his worst, which was Vikings. Worst acting, Joe. Who would be your worst acting? Ivar. Straight up. So are you basically saying
he's worse? He's worse, right? He's worse than the little kid Carol and fucking the King Adopt.
Oh no, he's worse. Oh my goodness. I'm a completionist, says Tim F. I'll finish Vikings, The Walking Dead, and basically anything else I started. Fucks except for Star Trek Discovery. Terrible sci-fi crap. Joe gave up on The Walking Dead a while ago. Phil just makes him watch to do Mystery Science Theater 3000 stuff. Don't worry, Joe. Cobra Kai will be back. Ooh, Brandon, who is probably more excited to have Katie back on Game of Thrones reviews than to hear you and me talk about anything right now, Joe. But we do that is maybe a slight spoiler for what might be one of our highlights. But before we do that, let's play. I had a couple of little nominations for Joe Dirty Locks rants, so let's play a quick little thing right here. See, tell us where the CW touched you, Joe. Show us on the Flash doll where the CW touched you.
Since I was a baby, I've been collecting this shit. I love my Flash. I'll fuck with my Flash, CW. Jesus, you got so much source material. And that's the shit you give us. That's the shit. Holy shit. That's the shit. Come on now. Oh.
Rogue says I should add the CW rant to the title of this video. Yeah, and we did. So everybody definitely check that out if you want to check out that whole video. That's in our Daredevil season 3 stuff. So check out that stuff. We got Theodore in the live motherfucking chat. Corey Mitchell says I forgot about Cobra Kai. Okay, so we're gonna pull this out here. I wish I had this stuff set up a little bit, but I want to hear what the chat has to say. This is our nominations. I thought of another one, Joe. But right away, these are what our nominations for the best are. We're going to not talk about this quite yet. We're going to get to this at the end. This will be like our final discussion of the night here. But our nominees for what Joe and I both have to pick, and everyone in the live chat hopefully going to pick, and I know you guys are just going to throw it out right now, but think about it for a second. Or just say all your picks suck ass, dude. Or nominate one. Ozark season 2, Daredevil season 3, Glow season 2, Better Call Saul season 4, and Cobra Kai. So those are the ones that I think Joe and I generally agree on. I'm sure each one of us have other shows that we might want to put on there, but we tried to pick one.
Think of any right now
We
that deserve the list. There's other good shows out there for sure, but not that deserve.
Right.
Glow would round out the bottom of that. I really enjoyed Glow, but I don't think it deserves to be on like the top.
Right. I just wanted to add Glow to kind of fill it out and give it some appreciation because I enjoyed this season a lot as a watch.
Yeah, it was really good. That's a good show.
It was a watch. And I'm sure there's a couple of toon animated series that I want to mention. DuckTales, the new Disney Channel DuckTales. I know people are like, what the fuck, DuckTales? It's really good. I think it's really well done, especially if you're into the Duck comics or the old DuckTales show. It pays.
I was a huge DuckTales fan.
I would give the Nickelodeon series a chance, Joe. It's without a lot of hype, but it is good. It's very good. It's not like greatest show of all time, but I want to mention it here as one of my favorite watches this year when it was on. And I know you're a big fan of was it Big Heads on Netflix?
Big Mouth.
Big Mouth. Yeah, sorry, Big Heads.
I haven't finished watching season 2 though, so.
And I know it's not for everyone. I continuously am still a fan of BoJack.
F is for Family is fucking incredible. Still.
Let's see. Santovia says I like DuckTales. Better Call Saul of all the nominees says DJ Better. Daredevil season 3 and Cobra Kai ruled. Go Glow says Brandon. That's a strong list. Bird Box was stupid, like part 5 stupid in my opinion. Hey, no shame.
Falls.
I love Gravity Falls.
Done by the Rick and Morty people. Gravity Falls, the Rick and Morty guy. In fact, there's like a crossover thing in one of the seasons from the Gravity Falls thing. It's kind of interesting. It's neat.
Don't buy into the hype of Bird Box. I heard Bird Box might be Sharknado 12 or something. Will you guys be watching reruns of the Animaniacs? I do watch Animaniac reruns.
I watched a bunch of reruns of it recently too.
It still holds up. Here and there. I mean, there's some.
It's Steven Spielberg. It's fucking Steven Spielberg, dude.
The last season of BoJack was dark, very dark, and I like it when it goes dark. I know it's not for everybody, but it hits me in the right way and kind of gives me everything I want in a television series.
I watched like 5 or 6 episodes of season 1 the other day, a couple weeks ago, Phil.
Not your thing.
Just couldn't. It just wasn't grabbing me.
Yeah, I mean, season 1 is a little different than the tone of the rest of the seasons, but I hear you. It's again. Certain shows aren't for everybody. That's why here we're kind of trying to point out some ones we don't necessarily agree on that maybe we like. I wouldn't put it on a list, but yeah. Gotham season 4, Broke wants to throw in there. I thought Gotham season 4 was kind of funny. The Quiet Place.
Every season of Always Sunny in Philly deserves a mention.
Yeah. The Good Place was really fun on Netflix. I enjoyed that with Ted Danson and I believe that was this year, but I thought that was pretty cool too. Lady Dreamfire, hello everyone, happy fucking New Year. The Quiet Place, hello my lady, and a review of Rick and Morty season 3 would be epic. Great to. It's interesting a whole calendar year to not talk about a new season of Game of Thrones being included into this list because it wasn't on. So Joe, not necessarily bad, but I feel like we do need to talk about this show because I think it hit with some people and it didn't hit with either of us. And we never really talked about it on the air, and I don't know if you gave it another chance, and that's the Sons of Anarchy spin-off series.
I did give it another chance. I watched like 4 more episodes and then was like, this is absolute fucking trash. Did it get canceled?
No, it's actually doing really well. I believe it got picked up for another season.
Oh god, it's horrible. I thought it was horrible. Like I just could. I wasn't connecting with anybody over anything. I thought over and over again, episode after episode, this was stupid. Like, yeah, there's gonna be this huge gunfight in the middle of fucking a cemetery in fucking San Diego somewhere, just outside San Diego, and like, are you kidding me? Like, it's bad, dude. It's just fucking bad.
People
It's
say
not good. It builds poorly on a universe that the first two, Shield and Sons for the first bunch of seasons anyway. Minus season 2. I don't know. Just no, I couldn't get back into it. I wanted to. I really did. I gave it another shot. No.
Santovia says the season finale of Minds was really bad. Brandon says would love to hear Joe go into Sunny, and people say the finale of Always Sunny was perfection. Walking Dead was the show of the year. Come on, guys, says Jason Voorhees. Come on. We'll talk about The Walking Dead in a few minutes here. The season finale of Minds was really bad again. I wanted to say that twice because it's very important. Corey says, then I worked for a cable company and FX was in disputes with them. Then I had a biker threaten to beat me with a chain over the phone unless I fixed his FX. I totally agree. Dirty Locke says Lady Dreamfire. Blue Steel says the most shocking turn in all television this year was the last 10 minutes of the Always Sunny in Philadelphia finale. Oh, cool.
Yeah, the show, the cast has such great chemistry. The show's been around for so many years, and it's hilarious. It remains hilarious. It's a great show.
Yeah, it's consistently.
It's a live action fucking cartoon, is what it is.
I'm not necessarily caught up with the most recent season, but I cannot wait to catch up and watch it. But it's consistently one of the best shows always on television. And another show that's consistently it's not a show for everybody. And you said it's having a great season. And from what I've seen of it, I haven't been able to catch up on every single episode because of the move. But South Park is having another great season of South Park, and
I haven't watched South Park for like 20 years,
and that's fine. You could jump back in, and it would be.
I watch specific episodes that you tell me I need to watch because it's not like I don't have. It's not like that I don't like the show. It's that I don't find it compelling to keep watching on a regular basis. If there's a particularly great episode, like what did George Lucas and Steven Spielberg do to fucking to Indiana Jones?
Yeah,
what did they do to Indiana Jones with Cartman at the Chinese food restaurant?
Yeah,
Chinese taking over the world. Like that is a brilliant episode.
I'll send you a couple of choice episodes. I just this whole season, like they've been with this like cancels.
The everything is shit where the kid like everything starts sounding like shit. Like no, I mean it. I turned on the radio and it was just a bunch of fart sounds, just a bunch of shit.
Okay, broke. I'll do it. I'll horrify Joe here. This is when Joe's gonna start checking his mail. Riverdale. Riverdale has been off the hook, ridiculous, like
fucking stupid.
Crazy, like Joe.
Get it out of me, but kids don't talk that way. That shows.
Joe, you have no concept of how stupid. Joe, as bad as you think it probably could be in your mind, it goes worse. It goes next level crazy. Again, I've talked about this before where the CW has all these superhero shows that they want to try to pretend that they do these amazing action shows. I like the CW shows, but to use Joe's word, they're kind of trash, and if I like them, I like the trash of it. But I mean, some of the effects but the fighting's always so choreographed, and it's fun, but whatever. But then they have these like love story, weird Gossip Girl beginnings of the CW that are aching to come out inside on these shows. So they set up all these horrible romances with stuff with Felicity or whatever that happened on Arrow or just whatever bullshit is they throw in these series. But with Riverdale, it's like a band that was a metal band that had been playing ballads for years. And then they finally get back to playing like heavy metal with Riverdale, and just every crazy possible weird thing you could play on that genre in Riverdale, they throw the fuck at you. This most recent season has our main star Archie. Spoiler alerts if you give a fuck. Either you're watching it or you don't care. That going to like a jail and getting branded and fucking like this, they're playing this giant D&D game where everyone's alive and murdering people in D&D costumes, and it's like it's so fucked up what's going on in that fucking show. It's beyond ridiculous. I feel disgusting when I watch it, but I still watch it, and it's one of the few shows I've caught up on since we've moved that I've missed in like the weeks that we didn't have cable, and it's pathetic. It I wouldn't call it one of the best shows, but it gets me off in that bad television way. So yes. Anyway, sorry guys. Sorry about the Riverdale go. A CW show trigger Joe. The South Park Red Dead Redemption 2 episode was hilarious. Okay, that's the cool one. I'll send you, Joe, because Joe just got Red Dead 2. If we're gonna throw in Riverdale, let's talk about Sabrina. Okay, I'm halfway through the Sabrina season. I haven't watched the whole season. I just watched the episode that was the dream season, as Joe can't play right now. So Sabrina is good. It's especially if you like Buffy and that kind of stuff. It kind of rekindles that kind of feel. Don Draper's daughter is good in the lead role, and it's a fun show. Yeah, not much else to say about that. Joe's walking away because of the Sabrina discussion. We got Bernie in the live motherfucking chat. Great to see you. CW is just feeling it in hallways over and over again, throwing in modern politics, boom, most of TV today. But I would actually say, Joe, that you would enjoy Sabrina too. I think you would probably enjoy watching it. It's a good watch. It doesn't hold back on the gore. It's kind of it's scary at times. It's thrilling at times. It's overacting and weird times with a villain of the week at moments. But it's very fun. Have either of you guys seen The Tick? I have not watched The Tick.
Awesome.
What do you tell us about The Tick, Joe?
It's The Tick, dude.
Okay,
awesome.
So it's a good representation of the cartoon. And
it's of the comic book. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's fucking awesome. It's as good as it's. Okay, it's so what's his name? Warburton from Rules of Engagement, plays Joe on Family Guy.
Fucking Putty.
He was the original Tick in the first live action.
Yep, I remember that. I remember that fondly.
He was one of the producers of this Tick as well, I believe.
Oh, nice. So he has some say in the way it's played.
And so you know the roommate from Shaun of the Dead, the real dick roommate that lives with Shaun in Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
The zombie. He plays the Tick.
Oh, interesting. Good. And he plays the Tick well.
He plays the Tick really well.
Oh, sexy. Sorry, Joe. You're sucking.
He plays the Tick really well.
You're sucking.
Am I sucking it good?
Yeah, you're kind of turning me on, Joe. Sabrina the actress is just terrible sometimes. I like the show, but she's not much better than she was on Mad Men. And I would say that's the one weakness that I will give Sabrina. That it's not that she's bad, and I don't know if it's in.
Who is it from Mad Men?
It's Don Draper's daughter. It's just tough for me to see her besides as Don Draper's daughter. So
awful.
So it's that's the one gripe I'll have with the show, Bernie. It's tough for me to I kind of lose it sometimes because I'm thinking, oh, it's sorry. I watch Mad Men too much. I'm like, oh, that's just Don Draper's daughter, and she wasn't necessarily awesome on Mad Men. Sorry.
Well, you just watched Mad Men too.
Yeah, just watched Mad Men.
Like I finished that shit when that shit ended, so I don't even recognize it from the picture that they got up on Netflix. So yes. But now I won't watch it knowing it is her. Thanks.
You're welcome. So Joe, we do have what generally I think people think have voted. A few people voted of the Joe rant of the year. So let's play this one right now.
A lot of the scenes, I will admit, and yeah, I think Joe's right in that they are kind of pandering. They are putting in that fan service. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it did kind of tug on my feels a bit. You know, I did kind of tear up at the scene with Herschel. And honestly, I thought JDM actually did a pretty good job with Negan in this.
Cynical Lindsay, thank you for the call.
I would go as far to say, and I know I can see Joe's eyes starting to roll into his head, so I'm going to say this. I'll go as far to say I like Negan this season. I think he's been one of the highlights of this season.
Oh no, I didn't say that, did I?
His performance a little bit.
It's the same.
It's a little bit more reserved, dude. It's a little bit more reserved. You fucking close-minded prick. It's a little bit.
Stop.
Wait, let me say what.
From the head bashing and the crying on the floor, it has been the same exact shit from him.
It's a little bit more
Period.
reserved. You don't think it's a little more reserved?
Not more reserved. not more reserved.
It's a little
The
less
same shit.
cartoonish.
What are you talking about, Maggie? You mean when I bashed your fucking
He's
husband's
not saying
brain?
cocky,
Fuck
dookie,
this
locky.
eye out of his fucking skull. Oh, and then I got
Yeah,
down
okay, well,
with
would
him
you
and I
prefer him
fucked
actually
his fucking
leaning
brains
on his
right
back?
in front of you. Oh yeah, you
One
like
second,
that, Maggie?
Lindsay, I'm sorry.
Oh, please kill me. Didn't
I
did
just-
I make you feel bad enough to fucking kill me? Are you kidding me? It's the same shit that's come out of his mouth every fucking episode since he was first fucking introduced, minus the bashing his own fucking head in and the crying and pleading to be killed. Those are the only two fucking new things out of that man's fucking mouth. Everything else goes back to the 20 fucking hours of that man's stupid fucking speeches that you already fucking listened to. So don't tell me he's a highlight of any fucking season, of any fucking episode, of any fucking show.
I think Joe needs another sandwich.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, he does.
So that was the Joe rant of the year. There was a lot of other good ones, especially in the Walking Dead season. But that's by
Plenty
far,
more to come, I'm sure.
and much more to come in 2019. But we might go through some other stuff again. But that was I wanted to make sure I played those two rants specifically. Brooke says best rants were from The Walking Dead. If anyone wants to play a game right now, not that you have to play this game, but if you want to go back to any podcast that came out in 2018 and time stamp it and send it in the chat, we can play it on the air if you have a fond memory of any Joe rant or anything. Bernie says, damn. Oh, Bernie also from a super chat. Joe, you owe us a Lagatha impression at some point tonight.
Oh, Bishop.
Oh, Joe.
Oh, Bishop. Please don't leave me, Bishop.
Oh.
I love you so much.
Okay, so there you asked for it, Bernie. You got what you wanted. Oh my goodness. Holy Mother of Mary. Okay, Joe, so I guess we should talk about The Walking Dead. So why should we talk about The Walking Dead? Because you quickly chose Vikings as your worst show of the.
Well, I've got more hours invested in The Walking Dead.
So you've enjoyed The Walking Dead season more than you've enjoyed the season of Vikings.
No, I have more hours invested in The Walking Dead.
Okay, fair enough. There's more seasons of it, and
There's more seasons and there's more episodes. Right?
Fair enough. Fair enough. So,
and there's no fucking Ragnar on it anymore.
Okay.
Like it was his show. It was like watch our reviews. Tell me how much of it is me just fucking like drooling over fucking Ragnar and his fucking Calvin Klein body.
There's a lot of that.
And like his acting. Come on.
Yeah, his acting too.
They took him off the show. He wanted to go explore his fucking, oats all over fucking Hollywood or Australia, wherever the fuck he is. And the show is fucking suffering for it. Even minus Rolo. Like the cameo Rolo came in and I was like, fuck yeah, Rolo. Wow, you really suck. Hamstring. Fucking doesn't want to be there. He's got his own other show. He's like, fuck this. I'm only here to fucking smile and shine my pretty teeth at the camera for 30 seconds. I
see Fury. Good question. Joe and I talked about this. I almost want to play this where this is sad, Joe. Where we have a sad discussion time. On the last Daredevil stream that Joe and I did, we talked about there was a moment at the end of the stream where this came out way before the news.
I was very confident it wasn't.
Yeah, way before the news came out. Let's see if I can find this.
If they bring in some interesting writer, I'm in a bad mood, or when I
don't know if I can find it.
But yeah, I like horrible television shows much. Here, and we're gonna start trying.
I'm not sure if I can find it. I'm not just gonna scroll through some fucking shit. So basically, I said to Joe at this point, I have a weird sneaking feeling that this might be the last time we see Wilson Fisk or we see Kingpin. We see Vincent D'Onofrio playing Kingpin. And Joe's like, "Don't worry, there's gonna be Daredevil season 3 for sure, something to that effect." Joe, how do you feel? I don't think we've really talked to you about this a little bit. I think there maybe is a stream about that we maybe discussed it a little bit, but I can't remember that might have been one of the ones that you needed to you couldn't make it. What are your thoughts on the Daredevil being canceled, and how do you feel about it?
It's sad.
It's fucking shitty, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the business logic behind it from Netflix point of view. Disney now owns all, like, from one of the articles that I read, and this makes sense to me. Disney now owns all the Marvel shit. So if they're going to be putting out their own series with other characters or continuing movies, which of course they are, they the job that Netflix has done with a few of these shows, The Punisher, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, is phenomenal. And by continuing to create those shows, all they'll be doing is promoting Disney's massive content streaming service that is going to be dropping soon. And all of Disney's material that's on Netflix is leaving Netflix. So they don't want all those people who have kids to go to Disney and be like, well, I can't afford two. And they don't want people to be watching Netflix and go, oh, well, these shows are Marvel shows. Maybe we'll check out Disney's shit.
No, these big fucking companies want to come in and be like, fuck you, Netflix. Where the big guys are coming to play, and we're going to put you out of business and take all your shit, and all come up with our own stuff, and we're going to make everyone pay like even more than they did for cable to get all these fucking apps, and fuck everybody, and fuck all this shit. It's coming. And Joe's, let's get in the live chat. This show could not continue without Ragnar. Historically, it was done. Joe's rants about Vikings center on the lack of Ragnar. Vikings is horrible. I can't see how anyone sits this far for this tribe.
The show should have ended. Like, I understand that, and that's when the show should have ended. Like,
but in fairness,
or picked up a different time, picked up a different group of Vikings.
I was going to ask you that, Joe. That was
the fucking Redbeard, or there's other famous Vikings.
That was my question to you,
Eric the Red, or
if the Ivar and the Ragnar brothers storyline ended at the end of this season, and then next season was all new characters for the final season of Vikings to proceed through Viking history, would that get you back?
Or a different, yeah, like if they rolled back the clock 100 years and gave us different Vikings, a different time period, other shit from the history that we know of actually happened, that'd be good. But these are the most exciting times, hitting the Mediterranean, the invasions all across fucking England, fucking, what's his name, going to France, Rollo doing his French thing.
Yep.
Like, these are some of the most famous Vikings, but there's other famous Vikings that they could have done. There's other famous journeys that they took that they could have been like, okay, that was the Ragnar storyline, done. Who gives a shit? We couldn't find the appropriate casting, or our writers suck in their writing ability for, these kids in the storyline.
Oh, Joe. Brian, just to throw the alternate opinion, Brian Dodds in the live chat saying Vikings still at 100. Don't say that.
Still at 100 what?
Soldiers. Jason Voorhees says, shh. No, he says, Walking Dead jumped the shark when they turned around and bought the shark and tossed it in the kiddie pool at Grand Roberts Water Park and tossed dogs while jerking off to grass growing. I'll go as far to say as soon as Athelstan dies, that was the beginning of the end for Bernie. Bernie, I agree with you. Ozarks is great. That's awesome. Okay. Phil, do I like Westworld? Yes. We'll get over while Joe's still in his lollipop here. Before we get into this, I want to talk a little bit about Westworld Season 2. It wouldn't be on there in one of my favorite on the best show list, but I definitely really did like Season 2 of Westworld. I thought it was fun and a good follow-up season to Season 1. It didn't stick with me the way I went back and rewatched it as much as I went back and rewatched Season 1, but I did think some of the performances were top-notch, and some of their individual performances would go up there for acting for me when we talk about individual actors. As an overall show, I think it was amazing. I just don't think it's as good as any of the other shows I mentioned right there for this year. I'm very excited for Season 3 and see Aaron Paul added to the cast, one of my favorite actors from one of my favorite shows. I think it can only get better, and I think the endgame storyline that the Nolans have is going to be good. And it's not something that's going to be told or finished after one season. It's something you're going to have to look at the whole picture when it's done. And I think they have a direction, whether you're going to like it or not, whether it's your kind of show or not. It's going to achieve what it needs to do. So So I guess that's the biggest one for difference between Joe and I. And we're trying to get a communal list to choose upon too. And Joe would go nowhere near this because I think I can speak for Joe to say that it's not that he hates Westworld. He's just incredibly bored by it. It's not something that gets...
There's nothing compelling about it.
For you.
Just because you add that doesn't make it so.
No. Just because you add...
It's not that there's nothing compelling about it for me. It's that there's nothing compelling about it. This has been...
For you.
This is a topic that has been explored. Fucking... Didn't you get enough? This topic was explored when they put Data on trial, dude. Come on. Is he sentient?
You're bringing Measure of a Man into this season 2 episode. Measure of a Man into next thing you're gonna bring is Johnny 5 is alive.
Thank you very much, Phil. Yet again,
Johnny 5 is alive, Joe.
There's a second. It's been explored, so there's nothing compelling about it.
Joe,
boring. How
do you feel about Lagatha's lack of aging in her Targaryen wig this season?
Oh. I'm gonna keep my feelings about how I feel about Lagatha
to the lollipop.
To myself. And my right hand.
Lady Dreamfire says, I don't think Westworld's that great either, Phil. And I know a lot of people aren't too into the show. It definitely hooks me in the right way. And it's another one of those shows that I like, and I'm not sort of under the illusion that it's a show for everybody. But I think it is entertaining, and I can't wait to see the whole picture of it. But it's not something I'm like, Joe, you're missing out. You got to fucking watch it.
Joe's not missing out.
Because you've tried it, and you secretly like the show, and now you just like to troll people that enjoy it.
No.
Yep. There was way back. We can't play it for this year. I almost want to find it. I think it was in a Vikings podcast that we did, or one of those Vikings live watches, where Joe gave a huge rant about his hate for Westworld. Not hate for Westworld, but it was an anti-Anthony Hopkins rant. So I believe that exists.
No, it was an
anti-Anthony Hopkins rant.
God,
yes.
No, never have I ever.
I gotta find it now. I gotta find it. I need to fucking.
It's all about you've seen this.
I need to find this.
You saw all that Anthony Hopkins shit in everything he's ever done. It's the same.
I can't. I gotta chronicle these podcasts better,
dude. This is what Meet Joe Black. This is what he was doing before Joe Black came and fucking the devil came and took the Grim Reaper came and took him. Like, it's the same character.
So, Joe, while I'm looking for this, a show that I hear a lot about, that a lot of people have talked about, that I've never watched, and I'm curious if you have, is The Americans. I've heard Are you a fan of that show?
No.
You haven't watched it, or you're not a fan?
I tried to watch it. Not a fan.
Legion?
I watched a few episodes of season 1, and then I was like, you know what? I don't want to watch the show. Too dreamy bullshitty.
Do you watch the Terror?
That's the bad guy from The Tick, right?
Bernie's asking about it in the live chat. I'm not sure. I haven't watched any of these shows right now that are being mentioned. Killing Eve?
Nope.
How do you feel about Ivar being a god? No, I tried to slip that one in.
I need to rewind.
Rewind the podcast if you wish to hear Joe's thoughts on Ivar being a god. Legion is genius, says Bernie. I haven't watched Legion yet, but it is definitely on my list of shows I want to watch. It's something I get asked about. American Horror.
Inception was genius too, right?
Do we have to get into the Birdman conversation again?
Oh yeah, that was fucking genius too. Oh my god, that movie was dog shit.
You're fucking such an asshole.
Fucking dog shit fucking movie. I would have rather gone to a movie that said that it was Harvey Birdman instead of Birdman.
You fucking asshole. Did you enjoy the Jesus Christ Superstar stage show this year? Because I know that's one of your favorite musicals. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I did not watch it, but I'll tell you it was awesome.
Awesome, great.
But I didn't see a fucking second of that shit. Wait, did I? What was the musical that I did catch a little bit of?
I don't know. Maybe that one, and you don't remember. I think
that might have been that one.
I think that was the one this year.
It's my favorite music. It's that and Grease. I like my two favorite musicals.
American Horror Story, I think, is hit or miss depending on the season. I've definitely enjoyed what I've seen of certain seasons. I haven't watched this most recent season. Catagate, great to see Catagate. Everything Sucks, Gone Too Soon. Everything Sucks was a good show, good Netflix show. Shame it was canceled. Yeah. I also enjoy American Vandal season 2. Wouldn't be on a top list, but I definitely enjoyed it. So, okay, so now let's get into some.
What was that? What's that reversey thing? That reverse? Are we going to the reverse? The upside down world or whatever the fuck.
Oh, it's Stranger Things season 2.
That was good shit.
Yeah, I like
What's his name? What's his name? Fucking awesome. Rudy?
Yeah,
awesome.
Rudy's awesome. I generally like Stranger Things. I think it's good. Let's see what a couple people said in the live chat. Blue Steel says Wind Waker. Westworld is great, but season 2 got complicated just for the sake of being complicated and lost a bunch of viewers. And I think Tim F said something similar. Westworld season 1 was amazing. Season 2, they kind of dropped the ball. Honestly, they shouldn't have caved to Hollywood insights and stayed with the direction they intended to go in the first place. K-Rich says, Westworld is my show. I'm hooked. I'm amazed. I don't care who knows it. K-Rich, I'm kind of with you. You and me are drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm drinking the Nolan Kool-Aid. And I think Broke said something along the lines of season 1 was really awesome, but and partially because that's how we found us. And season 2 wouldn't be in the top of 2018. Preacher rules. A couple people from live chat say, I haven't seen Preacher yet, but it's another one of those shows that I hear nothing but awesome things on, and it's on a list that I should watch.
Outcast.
Another good show.
Good shit, yeah.
So Bernie says I like Preacher as well too. Yeah, rest in peace, Rudy. Okay, so some of the best acting performances of this season. This is a difficult one for me because I think there are a lot of really great fucking performances. I'm gonna come down to 2.
There's not really.
Yeah, I think there are. I'm gonna come down to 2, Joe. I don't know her name. So people in the live chat will tell me pretty soon. But I think
the blonde chick from Ozark.
Yes, the wife.
The one that runs the fucking, not the wife.
No, the wife. I was gonna say the wife. So
no.
Dude, the wife is so fucking amazing, dude. You're talking.
Runs the strip club.
I know,
dude.
She's awesome too, dude.
Little fucking number 1 chick there. That girl is a fucking actress, man. An actor fucking to the core. She is awesome.
They both kill it, Joe. But I will
fucking hate her hair, but I love her, man. She is fucking awesome.
Let's say people's names here. Ozark season 2. Okay, let's pull this shit up. I have
God is a fucking fuck nut.
Oh yeah, I like the son, but the daughter. Yeah, the daughter was a fucking idiot this season. But I definitely think that both of those characters deserve to be on this list, Joe, for best actors this season. And then I have to go to Mr. Bob Odenkirk. Yeah, Bob Odenkirk killed it. But this is a bigger list, Joe. Then you get Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin in a huge fucking performance this season. Yep. As even if you don't like Daredevil season 3 for whatever reason, he killed it. He's masterful. And then you have William fucking Zabka in Cobra Kai. Go fuck yourself if you don't.
You're right, because he was great in that.
If you don't include him on this list, and
fucking Ralph was good too. Like. Ralph did his part, man.
Ralph was good, but Zapka was the man.
He's still a show.
Zapka's the show. I mean, when we get into this television show debate, it's gonna be interesting. And I will also give Kim Wexler, and I know we're calling people character names, but fucking kill us. A honorable mention for adding so much depth to that character and adding to what Bob's performance was, but on a season that when you're spoiler alert, ding ding ding, where you're losing Chuck, that you didn't feel a drop off. You needed someone else to challenge Bob and go up against him and support him, and she did an amazing job this season and went from a character I didn't really care about too much to someone I incredibly care about. Phil made a funny. He said Kingpin was huge. Ozark was fun. Both Mum and Redneck Hobag were amazing. Now, Joe, who would you give your acting award for out of all those performances? We talked about a bunch of them. Who would get your best performance?
Chick from the Ozark.
Followed
by closely with Wilson. And then there's so much about Breaking Bad that's good. Okay? There's so much about it that's good. Supporting cast members, everything about it is so good. That's why he doesn't make it to the top of my list as best actor. Okay, these other shows, Daredevil and Ozark, are very good, and they have a lot of the same great cinematography at times in Ozark, and the way they set their shots up.
You talking about Bob?
Well, I'm talking about why Bob is number 3, and I gave it to Ozark chick, followed closely by Wilson, is because it just, there's so much good about Better Call Saul that it's easy to see why. Like when you're staring at the magician, right? All that shit that's going on around him distracts you from whether or not he's making mistakes, and that you might be able to see what the magician is doing. So if the sideshow is good enough, if everybody else on stage that's doing their part with that magician is doing their part and doing it good enough, you'll never notice a mistake. You'll never see the magic trick happen. And I think that's what's going on with Better Call Saul. Everything is so good. Everything around Bob is so good. He's the magician. Everything around him is so good that even the little things that he might not be doing well, you're not going to notice. And that's great. And I think he's a great actor, and I think he did a wonderful job. But these other two shows, that not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
And how well they did in their acting really shows.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And I don't want to discredit we're talking about acting performances. There's some amazing individual performances too. I think Jason Bateman was exceptional on the second season of Ozark, bringing in his humor when necessary, and I think it's some of the best acting he's ever done. I just think he's outacted by two people on that show. For me, for my top list here, and also I will also want to mention Charlie Cox, because I wanted to say Cox, as Daredevil, because it's easy to get overshadowed by the sheer size of the performance of Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, especially in this season, where season 1 of Daredevil was very much Daredevil's season. Also, season 2 was Daredevil season. Season 3, in a lot of ways, is Wilson's season. And I think Vincent D'Onofrio, if this is the final time he plays that character, it was an excellent way to go out. And he would probably... It's hard for me to give it to anybody else. For me, he would be my performance of the year, and then followed number 2 by the wife from the Ozarks. She was just so good this season.
Ozarks and Daredevil pulled in. Well, Wilson pulled in my number 2, and Ozark your number 2. Ozark my number 1.
Then followed by Bob, who is exceptionally really great. And then filling out the list would be Billy Zabka, just to kind of give him an honorable mention. And to go with another great performance, I would give to Evan Rachel Wood. I thought she was really awesome in this season on Westworld, and I would also give an award to Peter Dinklage for Game of Thrones. Yeah, he was awesome on this season of Game of Thrones. He was the best again. He was great. So
he commits such a large performance.
Joe's Oscars would be called the Dirties. That would be great. I'm boycotting all award shows because they fucking suck. That's how Joe feels about them. Joe refuses. He's out on all award shows. How about worst performances? No, that's not too long. We're getting into worst performances. Worst performances list.
How would I even know?
Right. Okay. And that's what I was going to say here. Worst performances that we can remember.
Ivar.
So Joe says nomination.
5.
for Ivar. This is what
Ivar single-handedly kills my Viking experience, and I stopped watching.
This is what Joe says to Ivar. Here we go, Ivar. This is from Joe to you.
Fuck you, bitch. You broke my heart. Fuck your friends for tearing us apart. Fuck your dog. Hope it never comes home. Fuck your bitch. Hope you wind up alone.
That's from Joe Dirty Locks to Ivar. So.
Who is that?
That's Hannibal O'Neill, the wonderful Hannibal O'Neill, who again, I mentioned this before.
He made it out to the show.
Yeah, he made it out to the show. We got to meet Hannibal. Quick award for Joe. Vikings gets all of Joe's worst awards tonight
For the season, yeah. Like here's the thing. I'm sure there's someone on The Walking Dead that really sucks in acting. Few people. But
it's
you know what?
That's
Fucking
not what's wrong with that is
dude.
And Joe, that is not what's wrong with The Walking Dead.
Correct. And that's not. It's not even close to what's wrong with The Walking Dead. But that's a big part. And that's not what's wrong with Vikings either. But again, that's a big part of it.
I See Fury nominates Karen from Daredevil for the worst character. Or worst acting performance. I wouldn't say worst acting performance. But don't get Joe started on Karen. You're making his heart boil here. I See Fury. Oh, Joe has just go throw up.
No, my cat's eating plastic.
Enid. We got Enid from The Walking Dead. Okay, another nomination for. That's a good one. Finn Jones.
She didn't have enough screen time to be considered the worst actor.
Okay, I don't know if it was in 2018, but if it was Finn Jones in the Iron Fist, I think definitely deserves would compete with your boy. I would argue with
an Iron Fist episode this season in 2018.
I think did he?
There was a season.
Oh yeah, season 2. Okay, so fuck my vote's fucking Iron Fist. So when we get to worst shows, even though season 2 was better than season 1, I will say that it still doesn't make a good show. Joe needs a hug.
Yeah, I couldn't watch Iron Fist season 2. No.
I was sick and I watched it while I was sick.
There's other things that you should have watched, other things that I told you to watch, other things that you need to watch, but no.
I had a complete. I'm a completionist. I want to complete.
You're not a completionist, Phil.
No,
You're not a completionist.
I'm a quitter. I am a quitter. Tara from The Walking Dead. God, she sucks. Her scene's always the worst. The only good actor in Vikings is King Alfred. Fucking.
King Alfred. The kid or the dead guy, the dead one?
No, the kid. The kid. And
I might agree with you there at this point.
He's the best thing on the show. Okay. So worst performances. I'm trying to think if there was any ones that I'm missing.
I can't come out with worst performances because I don't watch, like, if there's so much bad television out there, right? Come on. There's so much bad television. Talking about just the worst performances of the shit that I've seen. Like, I've seen some bad everything Flash.
Oh, okay.
Everything fucking, like, come on. There's so many TV shows.
That you picked a good one.
How fucking stupid they are that I won't watch them. Obviously, half the actors on those shows are really fucking bad. Have no business having jobs. Like, half of the celebrities' kids don't have any business being in front of a fucking camera whatsoever. Think about all the thousands of kids and young adults and middle-aged people out there in their fucking community theaters that are probably gods among actors, but will never, ever get the chance, no matter how many fucking auditions they ever showed up for, no matter how many plane tickets out to Vegas for this audition or that audition, would get a fucking role because some fucking nut fuckbag kid, I want a job. You give me a career in Hollywood, daddy.
I love it. That was very, very Dice kind of voice.
So I don't watch bad shows and I don't watch bad actors. So there's a lot of them out there. You take your pick. This is a list for you guys. Like, bad actors, they're not even on my fucking radar.
No one had mentioned The Last Kingdom. Joe mentioned The Last Kingdom earlier. I think he's generally high on that show. I also thought of bad acting in Posse. There was a lot of bad acting performances in individual
Britannia was good. I don't know
stuff.
if that was this year or last year.
So I would say again my worst actor award, it would just go to Finn. I'd just give it to Finn Jones because there is a Iron Fist season this year. Okay, so let's get to worst show of the year. Joe already said Vikings was his worst show of the year, so I guess I can get to mine. I would say the biggest disappointment. No, there was a lot of disappointing shows this year. That's a tough one too because I watched a lot of shit this year. There's some ones that were just horribly unmemorable, like the final season of Head. I keep wanting to call it Head of the Class. Fucking whatever. That show. So yeah. I don't know. There was a couple of really bad and horrible shows. I'm sorry, I'm blanking because I think like Joe, some of the bad ones you block out. Next year, I really have to take the time and look at and write down ones that were horrible disappointments. Because I remember at the time watching stuff and being like, this sucks. Why am I watching this? It's horrible. It's not good at all. But I don't really carry a lot of memories. Lady Dreamfires is the worst for me is Mayans. Mayans would definitely be up there for me just because I didn't hook me at all and I wasn't entertained by it at all. I wouldn't put Walking Dead as the worst, and I wouldn't put Vikings as the worst. They definitely had episodes and moments that disappointed me, but I've watched worse shit. Jessica Jones season 2 was not as good as season 1. I was going to put the mother's performance in Jessica Jones season 2 as one of the worst performances for me, but whatever on that. So, I don't know. The biggest disappointment is Rick Grimes' final episode. That's not bad. That's not a bad pick. So yeah, I don't know. Let me think about that a little bit for worst show of the year. I definitely have ones that were horrible disappointments. The new Ninja Turtles series is pathetically bad. I know I'm not the audience for it, but it's really fucking bad. So let's get into our final topic of the evening here. Blam, the best show of the evening. And before either one of us give our picks here, we're going to talk a little bit about each one of these seasons. So first of all, Ozark season 2, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, has kind of both of our top picks are near our top of our list for best performances of the year. So I think in every way it was better than season 1. Not that season 1 was bad. I just think it improved on. It took what was good about season 1 and made it all better. Joe.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it was
all. What this season kind of did so season 1 was very much very Breaking Bad-y, right? Had a lot of comparison to that, which follows through into season 2. But then what they added was an element of what's that Frank Underwood show?
Oh yeah, I was trying to think about that a second ago. I can never remember the name, and that's a credit to what I was going to talk about it. And I wanted to call it Head of the Class. That's what I was trying to think of the name of it. What's it called? House of Cards.
House of Cards, right?
That's
they
my
pull
big
in that element into the show.
That was what
a cross between the two.
That was the show I was trying to think about when I was saying was a horrible disappointment. That the final season of that show was so forgettable that I couldn't even think of the name of it. It ended, by the way. It had a final season. There you go. Last Kingdom gets the best vote for Santovia. Animal Kingdom
was good.
Love Better Call Saul, but I'm going to go with Cobra Kai. Okay, so Daredevil season 3. We talked a lot about this show. We talked many podcasts of us talking about Daredevil season 3. I think it was, even thinking back, I think it's just as good as season 1 in its own ways. It definitely achieves everything, and it's a shame it's the final season of Daredevil. And has some of the best performances with Wilson Fisk. I can't think of anything bad to say about it. Can you? Or is there, other than Karen?
Some of the, like, Wilson being let to go stay in a fucking hotel. the FBI having anything to do with his release because it's all Justice Department shit, not FBI shit. Like, there's a lot of stuff.
See, this is why I have you on the show, because if it wasn't for you, I would just love everything.
There's a lot of things wrong with like it's a lot of semantic shit wrong with like some of that stuff never would have happened. But
yeah, no, fair.
then again, it's a fucking fun
show. Speaking of fun shit that would never happen, and probably the outlier in our group here, but I put it in here just because I love this show so much. I've watched this season more than I've watched any of these other shows, just because every time I'm in a shitty mood or I can't think of anything to watch, I put on fucking Glow. I can't quite explain it. Season 1, especially season 2, I've watched it like probably 3 times, and I definitely love Glow. I don't think it's
not enough spandex or leotards in that show.
That, I mean, there's definitely more wrestling in season 2 than there is in season 1.
I like that show a lot.
Yeah. Mark Maron is awesome in that role, and Alison Brie kills it and is one of the most entertaining people on television. And it's a good ensemble piece. And I think season 2 was equal to season 1. I wouldn't say either season was better, but I liked it. It was one of my favorite shows of the year. Better Call Saul season 4. Now, Better Call Saul, Joe mentioned this earlier, so let's get into this. It's hard for us to have given Bob Odenkirk the Best Acting Award because of the team he has behind him. I wish I had them behind us. Mm-hmm. That'd be great. That'd be great if they were producing this podcast. This podcast would be 10 times better. It would look prettier. We'd have better dialogue. We'd have better lines prepared, and we'd also have room for some improv. It would work. Vince Gilligan, take over our show. Peter Gould, write for us. And I always lick the grundle of Vince Gilligan every chance I can get from a metaphoric standpoint. But I do want to say that Peter Gould, and I've said this a couple of times, but I want to make a point here. He has as much to do, if not more to do, with Better Call Saul than Vince Gilligan does. Vince Gilligan's still there steering the ship, but this is his baby. And this was probably the best season of Better Call Saul. And I think Better Call Saul's moving downhill or uphill, however you want to say it, where each season's getting better and better and leading up to an excellent point. And now that we've heard that there's going to be Breaking Bad movies, we know where Vince Gilligan's been working on, and that's going to continue in this universe. I wonder what's going to happen towards the end of this that's going to lead into whatever Breaking Bad movies we get, which is going to probably be following Jesse. And I mean, who knows? There's no information about that. Better Call Saul is amazing. One of the best produced and written television shows. Again, not for everybody, but it should be. No, it's awesome. Great. I mean, is there any more superlatives you can throw on the top of this fucking slut sandwich I'm wanting to eat here, Joe? No. Okay, no. So, Joe, this is where things get difficult because there's 3 here that I think I can top them up, but I wanna give one the credit here. Give one fucking credit here. And say this next one. Cobra fucking Kai. I'm about to say the best show on television. The most entertained I think I was through 10 episodes of watching a television. It was 10 episodes, right? Was it more than 10 episodes? The most entertained I was watching a show. The most crazed I felt like I was into something that, you know, that feeling when you're a kid and you're into new shit. The way I felt when Better Call Saul's on was, oh my God, it's an old friend. The way I felt when Cobra Kai was on was like, holy shit, what is this? And I don't know, Joe. What are some of your thoughts between all those shows? I know you're a little bit more decisive than me sometimes. And holy shit, we got a fucking super chat donation from Callie. Callie, $50. Thank you for all the entertainment fill-in, Joe. And thank you for watching terrible shows like Vikings to recap it for people like me who give up. I hope King Alfred burns them all. Callie, thank you so much for that super chat donation. That is amazing. We're gonna make Joe take a couple of shots here for that. I'm not drinking right now because I'm getting shit-faced tomorrow night, or tonight now.
I'll take a couple of shots, but I'll take one.
Joe's going to take one big shot, and we're going to give you a spin of the wheel in a second. Callie, thank you so much. I just have to get off my ass and go spin the wheel while Joe takes a shot. I forgot to move it over. Thank you so fucking much.
The bottle's almost gone, Phil.
I know. We got to get you a new bottle. Here we go. Let me go spin the wheel for Callie. Let me play a song to play the game show music because you win a fucking prize for being amazing. Let's do this shit. This isn't the end of the show. We're playing game show music. One more. No, 50. Okay, here we go. So, what we landed on everybody drinks. So, whatever you're drinking, whether it's water, alcohol, coffee, take a shot of it and toast it to Callie. We also got another Joe character impression. So Callie, throw out in the live chat what character you want Joe to do an impression of. What else did we get? We got Phil drink. I'm unfortunately drinking water, so I owe you an alcoholic drink. But I'll take another shot of water for now. But Callie,
been counting all these alcoholic drinks Phil owes.
Oh no, I take my drinks, Joe. Callie, remind me on the Vikings review on Wednesday evening that I owe you a drink, so I'll take an extra drink tomorrow for that. My brain's starting not to work because I've been drinking too much this week, Joe. It's one of those weeks. This fucking holiday week leading up. It's been almost an everyday sort of thing. So I'm trying to take a night off, considering tomorrow or tonight's New Year's Eve, and I know I'm gonna be having more. So, Phil, we seriously need to decorate that room. The wheel is still too far away. I know. I need to get the wheel closer. I need to rethink a couple things. I can't run away for the wheel. I also, in a second here, have to do push-ups. And Callie, you win a review. So Callie, message me at igetissuesman@gmail.com what you want your review to be. And Joe and I, depending on what the thing is, will do it. It can be a movie review. It can be a episode of any television show you want, specific episodes. Just let us know. Email me at igotissuesman@gmail.com. So there we go. B. Arthur impression. Oh, I don't know if that's serious. Phil, you need a drone camera to cover the large room. That's basically what I do need. I need to tap into a drone camera that can follow me from
B. Arthur.
Oh no one said that. Someone said that. That doesn't count though. Cattigat was.
Cattigat said it's supposed to be Callie, not Cattigat. You almost got a free B. Arthur out of me.
Oh yeah, we'll think about that later. So Joe, what are some of your thoughts on your favorite show this year?
So it came down to
I'm gonna do push-ups.
Cobra Kai and Better Call Saul, Daredevil, and I'm missing one of them there. I don't remember, but ultimately all the shows on our list are just fantastic. It's so hard to pick one of the best. I probably agree with you. I had the most fun and wanted every episode to come as quick as possible, which is not the case with Daredevil, right? We watched Daredevil and we watched them like one at a time or two at a time. We did these little podcasts in between them, and I came out thinking after a few of them, this was a filler episode. This episode was one of the episodes it was meant to be burned through. To get right into the next episode. Sometimes they even felt like a half hour should have been tacked onto the episode before, and a half hour should have been tacked onto the next episode, kind of things with Daredevil. And I guess the same can be said, with Better Call Saul. It's one of those weekly shows that, as good as every episode is, and as on the edge of my seat as I can be, and as entertained as I am, I didn't have as much fun. I wasn't so excited about, oh my God, what's next? I can't wait to see what they do. Well, what antics are Zapka and Chachki over there? What's his name?
Chachki.
Raccio.
Ralph Macchio.
Raccio.
With that damn Raccio.
What antics are they getting up to with this kung fu karate stuff over there?
What Raccio?
Raccio.
This is so tough because, I don't know, Ozark season 2 was very fucking good. If we're talking about the best written and put together season, it might be Ozark season 2. As much as I'm a fanboy for Vince Gilligan and Better Call Saul, and I think it was excellent, one of the best seasons, Ozark season 2 was incredible. It was just plain incredible. I think if we're really cutting things off the list, I think Glow needs to be cut off the list. As much as I love Daredevil, I think Wilson Fisk's performance is better than the season. As much as the season is great, and I think a very good season of Daredevil, I think Fisk's performance again it's big, it's huge. It's almost like Nicholson in the '89 Batman, which is an incredible movie, but he just owns that movie so much that it's tough for anything else to shine in it. And I know Michael Keaton is really great in it, but when you think about that, or when I think about that movie, I can't speak for anybody else, I think you think about Jack first and everything else later. It's that performance, whoever your Joker is, but that's Jack's movie. And I think in a similar way, Daredevil this season is Wilson Fisk, and is all about that performance. And I think it's the best performance of the year, but I don't think this show I cut that off the list too. Then I'm down to Better Call Saul and Ozark season 2. As I said, Better Call Saul, I think Ozark season 2 edges out just a little bit in a tightness factor. I just think the season was written so incredibly tight, even though I think I like Better Call Saul better.
Comedy stylings of YouTubes
of montages. I mean, with Better Call Saul season 4, it perfected the montage in every scene, and I think it'd be an easy pick for me to pick Better Call Saul season 4. But I think
Cobra Kai gets it.
I think I'm about to get to that. If Cobra Kai gets it for you, I think Ozark edges out a little bit. So it comes down to me here for Cobra Kai and Ozark.
Cobra Kai gets it.
And I don't know. It's hard for me to think about this one, Joe.
It's got the drama.
It does have the drama.
It's got the heartfelt moments of fucking Zapka getting his shit on.
Zapka does get his shit on. It's a hard one to pick directly, but if I really, really, really think about what show I had the most fun talking about, it's Cobra Kai. I was ready for it, Joe. I was fucking ready for it. Cobra Kai, still alive. I think Cobra Kai is the show of the year for me. Not because it was necessarily the best show of the year, but because it was the most fun I had watching a television show this year. It took something, it balanced out what could have been a complete nostalgia bath with a new story that the biggest surprise that I can have it, and this is why it wins for me, because I gave a shit about those fucking kids, Joe. And I never give a shit about the new class. I am one of those people that I'm so salty and about new classes on shows, when they introduce the new kids in school shows, and like the kids graduate, and they don't stay with the kids you graduate and follow them to college, and they stay with the high school kids and you meet new kids. I'm fuck these people. I want to know the old kids. I'm into those characters. And what Cobra Kai did that's probably most interesting or most awesome is that it made me give a shit about those kids. And I think that's why it's the best show of the year, because I never thought that was fucking possible. And Joe, your character impression that you have to do is a Negan impression. Oh, so here we go. Negan impression. Yes, Callie. Here we go. Rachio wins. Here we go. He's doing it. Oh no. Is he bashing his head against the wall? He's getting in his Negan character. Oh no, that's his Negan impression. Was that was your Negan impression, bashing your head against the wall? You have to yell too. Where was the yelling?
It's late here. There's people sleeping.
Okay, fine, whatever.
I already was banging my head against the wall.
Okay. There it is, Callie. And Callie, also make sure you do email me what you want your review to be. Thank you so much for that super chat donation. As I say it, cannot say it enough how much that shit means to us. Cadigan says, bravo, sir. Oh, here we go. Brian Dodd's show of the year will go Vikings. That is a good pick. It's Joe's pick. So I will say Cobra Kai is my favorite show of this year, followed by Ozark season 2, Better Call Saul season 4, then Daredevil season 3, and Glow will follow up my list on that show. And for biggest disappointment, the one I wanted to say, I can't see, I'm even blanking on the name again. As I mentioned, the Underwood story there was a very disappointing season. So if I was going to biggest disappointment, that would be one. The season was just a letdown in almost every way possible. And the Oscar for the best Negan impression goes to Joe Dirty Locks. You win, Joe. So coming into 2019, we have two shows that I'm very excited to see. Specifically, we're obviously talking about the Orville moving forward here and there. We might not do every single episode of the Orville, depending on what else is on Sunday evenings, but we will be talking a lot about it this season. A bunch of podcasts on that. Also talking about Star Trek Discovery. Sorry, Discovery haters. I will be talking.
What's the big one that we've been waiting fucking 2 years now for?
Oh yes, the return of Celebrity Big Brother. No, I'm kidding. No, we got that one. But obviously, coming back in 2019, we have you mean True Detective season 3, Joe? But coming back in January, True Detective season 3 is coming, and also Punisher. And I think I'm very excited to see what the final season of Punisher is going to look like, Joe.
I'm excited. I'm very excited for that, and Jessica Jones as well.
Yeah, and we got one more Jessica Jones. But of course, the thing I think both of us are most excited for in 2019 is Game of Thrones coming back.
The only thing I've been excited for fucking years now, apparently.
It's was it frustrating to go a whole calendar year without Game of Thrones? Of
course. I mean, it's easy to get through. It's just not fun to think about.
Yeah. When you start to think about the time in general of how long it's been since we saw Game of Thrones, and then it's going to be 6 episodes in a row, even though these episodes theoretically are going to be 1.5-hour episodes each, or close to that.
TV movies.
So we're going to get 6 TV movies. Now, I guess we're going to do a lot more Game of Thrones stuff, but just in general, for the end of the series, are you going into it in a more optimistic way? Are you going into it in a pessimistic way, or in a, what the fuck, you made me wait for this long, you better impress me?
That's the one.
The third one. They've made you wait so long. It's the again, to use another Eddie Murphy joke. We often use this, and I've talked about it with Tony. We've used it a lot, and Joe and I use it too. The starving for a long time with a cracker thing. The next extent to that is it makes you want it so much.
See, and that's because they know it's gonna be shit. So they're starving us. So we'll all be like, "Oh yeah, it's Phantom Menace. It's wonderful."
Okay, so you think they're trying to Phantom Menace us here with this final season, and they're not proud of it, so they made us wait too long for it.
I'm not saying that.
You're not saying that, but no, you're saying that you're coming into it with an attitude of, you made me wait this long. What you got, bitch? Give it to me. Give it to me, you fucking D&D bitch.
You'll hear it. You'll hear it from me if I'm not impressed.
Right. I mean, we heard it in the last couple of seasons too, when you weren't into it. But you're also ready to be blown away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did that chain come from?
What the Night King? Maybe he saw it all.
Oh, stop it.
He saw it all in a vision. He could have theoretically seen it in a vision. Oh, come on. You're telling me.
Where the fuck did that chain come
and
from?
A chain chomp. He killed it in Mario Brothers, and he dragged it along.
Come on.
He couldn't have seen that. He knew he was
Come on.
Time could have passed.
Come on now.
He could have gone somewhere,
Dude.
got a chain, and come back for it.
Dude.
He could have matriculated it.
Dude.
Okay, fine. Cattigut's already buzzed. I cannot fucking... Ooh, man, I cannot wait. Yeah, you too. Thank you so much. You guys are in the live motherfucking chat. But yes, I mean, I hear you, Joe. What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show. Stranger Things and Game of Thrones for me, 2019. I cannot wait. Game of Thrones and Stranger Things season 3. Awesome, Joe. Oscar worthy. Great Oscar Negan impression. Killing it. And again, until that thing runs out, Callie, you're fucking amazing. The chain came from the Craster Brothers towing service, Joe. Come on. Craster Brothers towing service. I think so. I definitely think so. The chain is the least of the problems with that episode.
Wouldn't it be Craster and Daughters?
It would be Craster and Daughters. That's very fair. That's a very fair one. It was there was a Home Depot. Come on, they're popping up everywhere, Joe. There could have been a Home Depot in the land of always winter. It's possible. We don't know what kind of shops.
Craster's towing.
Craster's towing.
Hit you up. Craster's Daughters towing. We hit you up.
Hi, this is Gilly. I'm here to get to pull your horse out of the mud.
Let your horse out of the stable.
We'll tow you. She's in Red Dead and stuff. The chain is the least. Yeah, it is the least of the problems in that episode. But okay, so you're going in there with that attitude, and I think there's a lot of people going in there with that attitude for this final season. And is it so you don't have any expectations other than just bring it to me, see what you got?
Yep.
And I think that's something which is part of the reason why we don't do a lot of prediction videos with Game of Thrones, because we want to be shocked as much as possible. That being said, once we start getting some real set photos in a real trailer, we're going to pick that shit apart to death and try to suck as much as we can.
Such as much God as we got.
Even at its worst, Game of Thrones craps a lot of all-period drama shows. The only one that comes close is The Last Kingdom, says Callie. Would you agree with that, Joe?
Yeah. Period drama shows do get crapped all over by Game of Thrones, including The Last Kingdom.
Now, there's
a lot bad about that show, but it is better than The Vikings.
This isn't 2019, it's for 2020, but 2020, that's a funny show. But coming up will be the battle between the Game of Thrones prequel series and the Lord of the Rings series on Amazon.
I'm not super excited about either one of them, to be honest.
I'm definitely more excited for the Game of Thrones one. I'm excited to see Game of Thrones in other people's property, George being a little bit more part of the shows again, and seeing what ends up happening. So I'm definitely not excited for the Aragon series. Excuse me. And I'm definitely a fan of those originally three movies and the book series, and I know you are as well. But for whatever it's worth, even if it has nothing to do with it, the Hobbit movies put a bad taste in my mouth to a certain extent.
Yep. Those are fucking awful, dude.
Yep. Game of Thrones, they're promoting the hell out of it. How can it possibly live up? Are they going to give us a trailer? They can't show us anything. We're looking at a reflection of our eyeballs. I've heard it speculated a couple points, and I kind of agree that it possibly could happen at the Super Bowl. That they could do Game of Thrones. They did a Westworld one last year at the Super Bowl, so it's safe to think that HBO might. And with all the money that HBO's putting into the pubbing of this final season of Game of Thrones, I would not be surprised if they do a Super Bowl trailer commercial, since the trailers are just as big as everything else on the Super Bowl commercials. Now, instead of it, I think it always was like that to a certain extent, but I remember the commercials themselves being bigger, and now it's another premier ground for movie trailers and stuff. So, where the fuck is Winds of Winter? Someone asked me about this in a comment section, and I think we'll get to this at a different time. But people want us
Not done proofreading it yet for George. When I'm finished proofreading it, I'll get it back to the editor to make sure it gets published. But until then, y'all motherfuckers gotta wait and leave me and George alone.
How about the Wheel of Time, Joe? Are you excited for that one?
What is it?
I think it's a book series that is being produced.
So apparently there's my answer.
Yes, not sure yet. Mike says the Lord of the Anal Rings toss was on Howard Stern was better than the Lord of the Rings movies. I bet. So Joe, anything else? Any show that you didn't get to talk about tonight that you really liked in 2018? Nothing. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I didn't get to mention. I think I pretty much hit up everything. We'll definitely be back very soon in 2019 to talk about The Punisher with Joe, since Joe is retiring. If you didn't hear earlier, Joe is retiring from the Vikings podcast. This would be the last time
you ever hear me talk about fresh episodes?
Fresh episodes of Vikings. Birdie was kidding. Oh, about Joe being excited for the Wheel of Time. They are going to show us a trailer very, very soon. They're going to do it for sure. Abso-fucking-lutely. It's happening. It is fucking happening. Joe, are you working tomorrow night for New Year's Eve? No. Joe has the night off for New Year's Eve. Just chill. You're just sort of mainly like you like to chill in on New Year's Eve. No big plans.
We usually do that. We were talking about coming over to your house.
Oh, you're more than welcome. More than welcome.
Well, there's a good possibility we just end up on the couch going.
Yeah, no, I hear you. You're more than invited. If you don't, I don't blame you, Joe. That show fries brain cells. House on Haunting Hill. Joe, is there one show you haven't checked out that you want to check out that we've talked about tonight? Anything pique your fancy for shit that we've talked about? No interest in Wheel of Time. The Wheel of Time. Sabrina. Joe's real.
There's
Nothing. So everybody, I want to thank you guys for 2019. Joe and I, at some point in a little bit after Joe takes a little bit of break.
Oh yeah, I got a little honorable mention there.
Oh, here we go.
I watched a show recently on Netflix with Katie called The Protector. It's like a fucking Turkish show.
I have a show too. Thank you.
And it was a neat little superhero shit that went on, and it takes place in Istanbul. It's got English dubbing. I thought the voice acting was done really well. It's definitely at least as good as like an Arrow or a Flash, if not better than those. Katie and I watched the whole series, the whole season. It was good. Liked it. The Protector. Check it out.
And a show I want to mention that I definitely really like.
Derry.
It's not an excellent show, but it's another Netflix series I just recently watched. I don't even know if it came out in 2018, but it's fun. It's with fucking Tony Danza, called The Good Cop. It's with him and actually Josh fucking Groban playing the other character. And
I watched a good Josh Groban movie. Oh, Josh Groban, is that Beethoven?
He's the singer.
Oh, never mind. I was thinking, who's Midnight Run? Beethoven.
Midnight Run, Charles Grodin.
I watched a good Charles Grodin in a Murphy Brown movie when she was, oh my fucking God, Candace. Boom. It's called 11 Harrow House. It's good.
I know you're eager to sandwich up, Joe. But did you watch any? What would be on your top list of movies this year? Anyway, like, did you watch the new Avengers movie? Did you enjoy that? What was that? Didn't see it.
Oh, the one where everybody dies?
Yeah, spoiler, but yeah.
Spoil, dude. If you haven't seen it, go fuck yourself.
Oh, whatever.
Right?
But
We've had plenty of fucking time.
Any awesome
The next Avengers movie's about to fucking come out.
Any awesome movies point out to you this year?
Yeah.
I know it's tough to put you on the spot, but
nothing awesome that I can think of at the moment. Nothing that I was like, oh, you gotta see this movie.
Did you see the Queen movie?
No.
It was good.
Top star was Sandberg.
Yeah, the Queen movie was good. I wouldn't say it was like a have to watch, but I saw it. Especially if you're a Queen fan, it's fun. It's a fun biopic done in an interesting way. Littlefinger's in it. Littlefinger pops up. You're like, oh shit, Littlefinger's in it. Fuck all.
Yeah, he shows up in some shit every now and then.
Yeah. So I hope you cover a few of the old Soprano episodes like you did in 2018. The retro stuff is fun. Definitely will do that. That's definitely Big Daddy dependent. Matt and I, when we get him on, we'll definitely chastise him. I think we did 2 episodes.
He's at Matt Daddy's house right now.
Yeah, Matt is away,
his dogs.
which is why we're not doing Soprano episodes during this break. So I need to start watching Killing Eve. So we'll check that show out at some point too. I hear good things about that. Peaky Blinders is amazing. Season 5 should be really good. And
first season was really good. Second season was I haven't seen it since.
And yeah, I haven't. I've not checked out that show. It's one of those shows I kind of go past sometimes and think about watching. So everybody, I guess this is it. Hope everyone has a happy New Year tomorrow evening, and wherever you're celebrating it, get very drunk. Call in the Issues Hotline. We'll have a lot more fun podcasts coming up in 2019, and the final season of Game of Thrones, Joe. And Joe and I are going to take a little bit of a break, and then we're going to record a little bit of a patron cast. I don't even know what we're going to talk about there, but we'll figure something out. And
best porn movies of 2018.
We might talk about best porn movies of 2018 then, but we might start getting in that direction. So
best adult film stars of 2018.
Maybe. So if anyone is not a patron, now might be the time. No, but if you're a patron, make sure you check that.
It's a legitimate category.
We'll talk about that. Hold it off. We'll hold on to it. We'll get into best porn category.
Hold on to it for years.
Do it, Joe.
Daily.
Oh my goodness. But thank you, Joe. We'll see you in 2019. Probably in The Punisher will be the next show we'll see Joe, since we'll no more Joe on Vikings. So everybody, thank you so much for checking this out. Hopefully
you'll wrap this shit up. I'll be back in a minute.
No, I'll talk to you soon, Joe. I'll talk to you in a bit. Joe stepping it away for a moment. But everybody, thank you so much for checking things out in 2018. Hopefully you have a good, happy new year. Make sure, if you haven't already, you like this video and you subscribe it. Share the channel with a friend. Help spread the word. Help us grow. If you're listening to the podcast, make sure you give us some reviews. And you guys call in sometimes too. Leave voicemails. Tell us what you think and what we should be talking about. Happy fucking New Year, everybody. Talk to you soon. Ba-bum. Motherfuckers. Live motherfucking chat. Callie, again, thank you so much for that super chat donation. It means so much. Good. Good night, fucking chat. Motherfucking chat. Throw a like up there. Motherfucking chat. Love you guys.